What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to discuss about something that's quite important in Clash Royale. Damage versus elixir, right? So what exactly is the difference between a scenario where you want to save damage or you want to save elixir? Ideally you want both, right? So let's just try playing a very simple deck. So let's try playing. You know what? To explain this, I think the best deck is probably the recruits. Right? Okay, let's play the recruits. So, recruits is a really good deck for you to understand whether you want damage or you want elixir, right? Because cycle decks, you wanna make sure you don't take much damage, right? You lean more towards the damage. Of course, elixir is a major thing, but then you'll be playing a bunch of like small troops, right? Cycle cards like the one elixir spirits or the skeletons, right? On the other hand, beatdown decks are kind of the opposite, where you tend to focus a little bit more on the elixir advantage because the fact is your cycle is pretty slow, and you want to make sure that you don't get blocked, you don't get bricked, right? So on the other hand, like why recruits is a good deck for you to understand this is because recruits is somewhere in the middle, right? I would say recruits and graveyard are two archetypes that are in the middle, are control oriented. They focus on both damage as well as elixir, because graveyard, if you think about it, right, you need to save up for at least 6 elixir from a defense. You need to defend and you need to have saved 6 elixir in order for you to play the graveyard, right? Recruits has the same philosophy, kind of, for elixir management and as well as tower damage, because graveyard doesn't want to lose a tower. It wants to spread out. It wants to distribute its damage between both its towers, preferably, so that the two towers stay intact while they attack. Recruits are quite same in that context as well, because when you're playing recruits, 99% of the time, it's not recommended that you lose a tower, right? You can't just give up a tower. You want to make sure that you distribute the damage, right? Okay. So this is called a direct trade. So I play a 4 elixir troop, he plays a 4 elixir troop, and we call it a good day, right? Let's just, there we go. So essentially it's oh, I thought I was gonna activate the king. That's okay. So right now we are like a 1 elixir in lead. Oh, we're more than that. Oh my god, he's just spamming. We are in a huge lead. We don't need to worry much, right? So in this scenario, the opponent isn't playing well, so my point doesn't come across perfectly. Let's just go here. There we go. And we are somewhat good to go, right? Okay. So as you can see, I'm trying my best to just get as less damage as possible, right? Without overspending on the defense. That's essentially how it works. So you need to know a scenario where you can go in. So here, it was a reset, and in this reset, he spent 6 elixir while we spent 7. Right, so we are -1. Now we're +3 because he chooses to fireball, and that gives us the opportunity to go in. Right, okay. Let's not overcome it immediately, and you see why. Let the bomb go boom. And now here we have an open opportunity to just go in. Right, so here we did spend the elixir to go in, and now we will be down, right? We will potentially be down. So, right, okay. Let's just go here. Let's just go here. Perfect. We are spending more elixir to save our towers, but at the same time we're distributing it so that okay, that's pretty good. Perfect. Now both of us reset. He's at 10. I'm at 10. And I get to go in. Okay. We exchange fireballs. There we go. Get ready to step back. Oh, we just won. There we go. All right. So in this match, as you saw, right? So I had to be conscious about my elixir expense as well as the damage, right? So knowing that is very important. Of course, it's dependent on the matchup, so I'm not gonna lie. Against a cycle deck, you want to make sure you save your elixir more. Whereas against a beatdown deck, you might want to make sure that you save your tower damage more because you get a better chance for counter attack. That's just based on the matchups. But fundamentally, the scenario is based on your playstyle and your opponent's deck type as well, right? So if you're playing recruits, where you need to be able to do both, it's highly recommended. It's highly recommended that you first know what your opponent is playing. It's not just recruits. Every deck, the first thing you want to know what your opponent is playing. So in our, like the previous match, we saw his cards, and we immediately knew it was the bridge spam, right? Fortunately, we counter bridge spam, right? Recruits counters bridge spam. The whole point of recruits being released to the game was to stop the dual lane pressure. Oh, we're up against more. I'm just gonna fireball it. Of course, I should have fireball for the magic archer, but I would rather just get an immediate damage. Oh, okay. I think he's playing graveyard. Yep, he's playing graveyard. So again, 4 cards. The trick is 4 cards. If you're able to see what 4 cards your opponent is playing, and that's enough for you to find out his deck, right? Fundamentally, your main 4 cards should that you recognize. The first 4 cards, it actually gives the entire information about the deck. So now that we know he's playing graveyard, we have to play a little bit more conservative. There we go. Of course, we activate the king, but it's okay. So as you can see on the left, we did let him take some damage, but on the right, we were able to get more. I'm not gonna go with I was gonna go. Yeah, sure. I'll just go. But we forced more elixir out of him. We are gonna go recruits to just counter everything. Right about now. Oops. There we go. There we go. All right, okay. Okay, so this is gonna be a problem. Alright, alright, okay. Sooner or later we're gonna have to go for spell cycle. Alright, okay. Yep, time to go for spell cycle number one. Bro, we forced out a huge mistake. Oh, right in the bomb. Yep. Okay, we snuck in a victory. All right. So, of course, I mean this match was tight, so I couldn't explain much. Right. So, this is rewatch the replay where I explain the mindset better for you guys. Right. Okay. So, rule number one: whether you want to choose to take damage or whether you want to make sure that you save elixir primarily. Let me say primarily, because you're gonna have to both. It's like saying which whether your deck requires micros or macros. It needs both, right? So primarily, first you need to know the deck, what deck your opponent is playing, right? So you found the Zappies, and you found the like giant skeleton, right? And you found a snowball with the goblin cage. I mean the goblin heart, right? So this means he was playing graveyard. What his other four cards were definitely the curse, the berserker, and the graveyard and furnace, right? With the evil furnace. So you found out that that was the deck, right? But even then, you can't be 100% certain because your opponent could cheese it by playing a random magic archer instead of the furnace, and you can completely mess up the interactions, right? So after that's done, after you identify what your opponent is playing, you need to know what exactly he has to counter your card, right? If you have more than one card, like that's gonna annoy your opponent, right? Like so for us in this matchup, the recruits as well as the magic archer annoys him, right? So that means in that matchup you can just play them without much support. So you can focus more on just the elixir trades and going for tower damage. On the other hand, if he has a hard counter, you're gonna have to over defend wherever you can, and you're gonna have to, force some mistakes from the opponent, right? Of course, you'll be down in elixir, but look, at the end of the day, right? As long as the tower is alive, you have a chance to win, right? You can finish the game with like tower damage, like how we did this game, right? At the end of the triple elixir, you can just win by tower damage, right? So it's not a reason why the tower health is very important. So you need to know that. This is irrespective of whatever you play. Like if you're playing Golem and your opponent is playing Pekka Blitzbang, right? 90% of the time, if the player is good, your Golem is not gonna blow up in front of the opponent's tower, right? The Pekka would have taken out the Golem, halfway across the map, and you're gonna have to rely on like very small chip damage from like your supporting troops or the Golemites, right? On the other hand, you're like if you're playing Golem beatdown, right? You probably have two, three cards at most, right? That can count, that can cover the ground. So you have to make sure you're able to beat the battle ram, the bandit, as well as the ghost, right? And the worst part is bandit and ghost are 3 elixir. Seldom you're gonna play any troop that's cheap in a golem deck. Seldom. Of course, there are the bombers that go here and there, but bomber doesn't properly counter the bandit or the battle ram, right? So you don't want to rely on bomber alone for the defense, right? So there we go. So your elixir trades there are definitely gonna be negative, however you look at it, right? So in that matchup, you automatically want to like go for like damage control, right? So knowing that is very important. Like knowing the matchup and making a decision based on that is very important. So, but how does this affect the game? That's quite simple, right? That's the main question that you should ask, and that's quite simple. If you're able to control the damage against a hard counter or against a deck that you have difficulty breaking against, right? Like let's say Pekka if you're playing Golem, Mega Knight if you're playing Recruits, or even the drill decks if you're playing Golem, right? You want to make sure you get very less damage, because you know that if your opponent makes one mistake, right, you're gonna get the job done, right? You know that your opponent cannot defend your push unless you mess up the push, right? That's extremely possible. Like especially if you reach like Ultimate Champion, right? Hard counters are there, but players have the tendency to be able to play through them, right? So like it's very common for people to make like mistakes and mess up the whole interactions, right? So in that context, like if you see the Ultimate Champion matches, you end up seeing that hard counters are there, but in hard counters they want to preserve and they want to keep attacking, right? They don't want to keep attacking, but they want to make sure that they preserve as much as possible to keep the troops on the field in order for them to go for an attack, right? When you have a very good matchup, right? Like let's say on textbook, Hyperbait cannot defend Golem when the Golem starts its push. On textbook, right? Of course, they have all the spammy troops. They will pressure you the entire time, right? But on paper, you can break through the defense, right? If not with one push, you can get it done with 2 pushes. Under matchups with these conditions, you might want to lean more towards the elixir management, right? Because you're going to take the tower, right? Recruits versus Expo, perfect example, right? Recruits versus Expo, you want to make sure that you have your recruits, pigs, or the cage at hand at all times for the Expo, right? Once they sacrifice the Expo, you prop down these troops and you're good. So there, you don't want to overcommit, right? You want to make sure you have at least 4 elixir at hand at all times, and you don't want to sit at 10, right? On the hard counters, like if I'm facing a hard counter, most of the time I leak elixir, bro, because I want to play smart, very smart, over smart, because I know it's a tougher matchup. Whereas these sort of things, like you just want to like put your brain on cruise control for a while, make sure you just repetitively defend whatever they give, and then you start generating the pushes, right? So now, okay, yeah, but what if it's like a 50-50 matchup? Like, let's say Golem versus Raw Giant is actually a 50-50 matchup, right? On paper, um, it looks as if Raw Giant might have a better matchup, or Golem might have a better matchup based on the variation. Now let's just make it simple. Let's use Golem Lightning versus the Raw Giant Cycle. There, it's very much dependent on the player and the rhythm and the tempo, right? There, uh, whether you want to prioritize elixir or damage, I would say prioritizing elixir is more important than prioritizing damage, right? Hands down, right? So, like beatdown is a really weird archetype because we don't count elixir as like there's two type of elixirs when you're playing beatdown. There's elixir on the field and elixir in your hand, right? I don't know whether this is the right way to put it. Like, cycle players might may not understand what I'm exactly saying, but control players and beatdown players will get what I'm saying. Right? Elixir in hand and elixir on the field are two different things, right? And that cumulatively is your elixir, right? So let's just say someone, my opponent plays a role giant. Let me just see whether there is a chance for me to, just I don't know how to explain it. I don't know whether I have the matchup for it as well. But let's just play Trophy Road a match and try to explain it. Right. So when you're defending, let's say, something, right? You're defending a push, right? So when you're defending a push, you have your remaining troops on the field. Oh my god! Like, people can get away with that on this fucking ladder draw. I fucking hate it. Right. So, oh my fucking god. Oops, I messed up. Oh my god. Dude, this is what I mean, right? He got away with it. Oh, okay, that's okay. I mean, I messed up the tornado as well, so no biggie. Thought I could get the king activated, but I couldn't. Means alright, so alright, okay. Perfect. That's tower if he doesn't defend the brawler. Oh, we brought out the Night Witch. That's good. That's good. We do need to cycle to the golem, so I'm just gonna play this here. Yeah, hindsight, I waited, but it's okay. Let's just play golem here, shall we? Perfect. Oh, bro, you panic a lot, bro. Oh my god. dude, they get away with it, bro. I really want to explain. Okay, yeah, sure. This is like okay. I guess this works. This matchup works because it's like neither of us like hard counters each other. It's like a 50-50. I want to explain with Raw Giant, but it's okay. It is what it is. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, bro? Dude, this guy's gonna give me a fucking headache. Crap. Nah, you better be kidding me, right? You better not say you're playing Evil Mega Knight. You better not be playing Evil Mega Knight in this fucking deck. What the fuck, bro? He's like, ugh. Elixir. Yeah, perfect. Oh, yeah, I prayed to his lightning. I knew he was playing lightning, so I played my troops over there a bit. I just won this out. Perfect. Nah, he is definitely gonna play this. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, okay. What the fuck was he playing? But it's okay. I'll try my level best to tell you guys what I mean in a 50-50 matchup through this deck. Right? Okay, perfect. I'll try my level fucking best. Trust. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that this was a 50-50 matchup. I don't know what the fuck he was playing. I thought it was gonna be a Golem Night Witch with the Lumberjack. Okay, so yeah, he got fucking lucky. He played Golem first hand. So now I had no other choice but to just play Night Witch same lane and try to play some. Now I wanted to play the building, but you know, I didn't have the Mega Mini. I didn't have anything in my hand, and he hardens me. You know, like, fucking hell, man. Oh crap. Right, so in this sort of matchup, you wanna, you know, like at the start during the single, until you get idea what he plays, you wanna make sure you wanna avoid the tower damage. Dude, he is spending elixir, a lot of elixir, right? So we did take a lot of tower damage, but you know, you primarily don't want to. But if you look at the elixir exchange, we are equal elixir. That's the important part, right? You don't overcommit. Right, you count and you try to make sure that both of you are in equal elixir. So we reach 10 elixir together, right? I wait for him to respond. He responds, and I played a golem, right? He in turn plays a golem, right? And Iris. So at this stage, both of us are in equal elixir, right? Our elixirs don't change. We are in equal elixir. If you can see the elixir bar. And the main differences occur quite shortly, right? So I make sure that, you know, we don't, you know, overspend each other. I see that he plays a bat. I respond with the Mega Minion ability, right? I don't panic. That's the most important part. At the end, when you look at it, right, due to us playing really smart and not overcommitting, we made him overcommit with the Night Witch. In retrospect, he should have just given up the tower, right? He should have just given up the tower, because then he would not be down elixir, and right now he was, right? And we just comfortably just golem first, and he golems the bridge. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I stopped questioning mid-ladder menaces in Clash Royale, right? So just keep looking at the elixir bar. That's the most important thing. Right? the elixir bar, as you can see, well, he pulls out a fisherman out of nowhere. I did not expect the fisherman. If I had known that he was gonna play the fisherman, I swear I would have used the tornado to pull things in. But it's not too late. There we go. We still are leading in elixir. That's why I don't. I can see he overcommits a lot, right? So this particular player's play style is he overcommits a lot on defense, right? Which means he can't make a good solid offensive push, right? So and by the way, this is still a 50-50 matchup, right? So here, as you can see, in a 50-50 matchup, keeping a mind on the elixir is as important as keeping a mind on your damage as well, right? We're in a huge elixir hand lead, but as I said, right, let's go back on what I mean by elixir at hand versus elixir on the field right here, right? So though, right, he just played a Mega Knight, right? So that's 7 plus 4 plus 2 from the Barbarian Barrel. That's 11, 13 plus 3, 16. Whereas for us, we have 8 plus 8 plus 8, again another golem, so that's 16 plus 8, that's 24. So we have 24 elixir in total, whereas he has 10, 16. So we are like almost like eight. At that stage we were like really high in elixir compared to him, right? We did leak a bit of elixir, but then again, as you can see, right at this point, we have 4. We're up against a half dead Mega Knight, right? And this point here is where we have to say both of us have equal elixir hand. When both of us are at 0 elixir, or like no, and it's like equal elixir on the field, right? That's when we are equal. So right now we are equal in elixir, right? And we're just exchanging spells. We're just making sure that we don't, neither of us overcommit. He does overcommit a lot, right? So that's beneficial for us. We don't. So we maintain the lead that we have, and slow. It's more of a marathon, right? So we have 40 seconds. It's a marathon and not a sprint. So we prop the golem. He goes for lightning. Right at that stage, we were able to go for golem and him. Just the lightning was not just because of the game, but because of how much elixir we had at hand, right? And he can't do anything after this, right? So 22 seconds. What's he gonna do? Tries to golem again, and all we need to do is defend, right? While the Mega Knight blocks, there we go, and that's done. The Goblin Cage counters the golem, so we were able to save a lot of elixir, and we just stop. So at the last moment, elixir is pointless. We just want to make sure we save damage. So because our triple elixir, we're just going to generate off elixir, and we want to make sure we have a tower lead, so we just throw everything on the field, and that's it. So that's, I mean, it's not the best example out there because we did not face some pro, but we did, we did, at least be an ultimate champion, bro. He's a world champion. Fair. Okay. So we did, I hope I was able to be pretty good at the way I explained it. We can probably check Ultimate Champion ranked. If anything is there for you. Alright, so let's see who wins, and what sort of hard matchups against what. Is that all? That's not all. Alright, perfect. A mirror matchup. Alright. So we are gonna break down each plays by both players who play this pretty much. They play the exact same deck. Right? And one more thing, in Clash Royale, it's a really good tip. Whoever moves first generally have the disadvantage. So you want to make sure you know what your opponent plays. He plays a ghost, plays a bandit, sees the marcher, very bad marcher. I mean, was that chip worth it? That's the main question here. Yeah, he did make something out of it, but was that chip worth it? Right now there is a 3 elixir ghost on the field. Change Packers. And this is what I mean, right? So now Scotty was able to play the P.E.K.K.A at the back, whereas our friend on top couldn't, and I don't know why he did that. All right, but there is a live P.E.K.K.A, so that's 10 elixir on the field, 5 elixir, that's 15. That's 4 done, and there we go, right? Dude, not gonna lie, bro. Our friend at the top, right, really clutched it out. But damage is damage because, like, when you're having a mirror matchup, even a little bit of damage is a big deal. And there you go. One small elixir mismanagement has caused like almost the entire match to like start turning on itself. Right, from being in damage lead, Scotty has now gone down in damage. All right, so that's basically what happens when the elixir interactions take place. That's where all aspects of punishing, going in the same lane, having the same pattern, everything comes in. Right, fundamentally, Clash Royale is a very simple game. Right, it's all about elixir, elixir, elixir. And of course, the second most important thing is damage. Elixir and damage, that's it. Right? Fundamentally, if you get these two things straight, you can actually play really well. And one more thing, which kind of helps out is, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It seems like a common sense, but it's something which people forget about a lot. If the game is on your side of the field, you defend better, right? Bridge battles are a thing, but at the end, bridge battles are not, are a toss-off, right? Bro, Scotty just tanked it, bro. If he makes a comeback, I'll be damn impressed. He's trying to split damage, but the fact is he's so down in elixir, and his troops aren't where he wants. Dude, that's how quick this game changes. Let's just go. There we go. As you can see, in just one or two micro interactions, in almost a mirror matchup, the entire game changed. That's how quick Clash Royale is, and that's how quick Clash Royale changes as a deck. Right, so just make sure that you keep this in mind in all interactions, right? Knowing when you want to spend your elixir, when you don't want to spend elixir, what is the total elixir at hand, how much elixir does the opponent have at hand. That's another important thing, right? How much elixir does your opponent have? Very important thing, right? I will discuss about those micro nuances on how to play better a little later, like in the upcoming videos. I hope you had fun, right? I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.